Sir, press Control L, sir.
Yes, ma'am, you can start recording. Sir,
Ah,
Chandrasekhar, sir,
yes,
you can start.
yes, ma'am. Very good afternoon to one and all present here. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all of you to this webinar on National Pollution Day, organized by Civil Engineering Department of SVC, and which is being organized in association with Institution Innovation Council Cells, Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering. And I congratulate Mr. Shashidhar M, Chief Executive Director, SVGI, and Dr. Nageshwar Gupta M, Principal, SVC, and our beloved HOD, Dr. Lata MS Ma'am, and Dr. Nimala Gupta Ma'am, SVC, Head of IIC Cell, for the keen interest they have shown in organizing this webinar. And this webinar is organized on a pollution day, which aims at providing an understanding of climate change and its impact, and also to understand the uranium occurrence in the shallow aquifers in Karnataka. Now, I request our head of the Institution Innovation Council Cell, Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Dr. Nirmala Gupta Madam, to address the audience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So my voice is audible, right?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So thank you. Good afternoon to one and all present here. So today we are here to celebrate the National Pollution Day celebration. So in view of National Pollution Day celebration, we are in association. Mainly the initiative was being done by the Civil Engineering Department. So I would like to thank and congratulate the Department of Civil Engineering to take an initiative to host this two events, climate change and its impact, as one of the important key factor for our daily routine life, every one of us to know about it. And one more event on uranium, the other event also. So let me brief out like what is this IIC cell as an initiative in SVCE about. So IIC cell stands as Institution Innovation Cell. So this Institution Innovation Cell is an event or an initiative by MHRD, Government of India, so which is being taken as a major step to bring out the initiation in all higher education institution about fostering the knowledge and information about the lot of programs which are relevant to our entrepreneurship development innovation incubation ecosystem, and even IP also, so patenting IP. So there are a lot of activities, lot of initiations of Institution Innovation Council as IIC cell SVCE is into. So we are having lot of events, lot of programs, activities which are fostering all of us, not only the professors or the participants or the audience, all the students, the young buddies, to know about the IIC and its activities. So we got very much important activity every year. We are hosting it from SVCE Bengaluru, that is Smart India Hackathon. So all the students and the faculties are knowing about it, and few of our faculty members are actually the mentors for most very good ideated projects, wherein they won the prizes also last year, 2021, 20 and 21. So like that, lot of other initiatives are there, like Toykathon. We were the nodal center for Toykathon. We were the nodal center for Smart India Hackathon, and we were successfully completed those events online in this pandemic situation. And there are a lot of other events and other funding projects which we can extract it from MHRD through IIC, like funding assistance for innovation and startup is there, Atal ranking is there. So already we achieved even Atal ranking as the band performers. So SVCE stands as a band performer this year in the year 2021. So Atal ranking is one. So that is Atal ranking for institution on innovation achievement, as ARIA ranking we call it as. And we do have national innovation startup policy, so which we bought it into SVCE. So we do have NISP unit NISP cell for doing the activities and promoting and making the ideas to be converted into a startup. And we have achieved it as 4 startups in the previous years. And the lot more to say, not only this, we can have idea lab to be given to the students. We can have lot of idea pitching, idea blasting competitions, wherein the ideas can got into the knowledge of the society. So like that, lot more things to be done from the IIC, and it's a small initiative wherein we started celebrating lot of days. So initially we are celebrating a webinar to be conducted in view of National Pollution Day. So thank you one and all for patient listening. As a IIC convener, I just briefed you a brief introduction about IIC and its activities at SVCE. So thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the information which you have shared with us. And now I request today's keynote speaker, Mr. S. Arvindan, to kindly address the audience. Over to you, sir.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Dr. Nirmala S. Gupta ma'am and Chief Patron Sir Dr. Shashidhar Muniappa sir and Principal Sir Dr. Nageshwar Gupta M for giving the Civil Engineering Department the opportunity to do a webinar on National Pollution Day. And I should thank personally our Head of Department Dr. Lata MS ma'am for giving the opportunity to me. And thank you for the introduction, Mr. Chandrasekhar SV sir. So I will be starting with my PPT. I hope my voice is audible and clear.
Yes, sir.
So is the PPT visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So myself Arvindan S. I'm working as assistant professor in Department of Civil Engineering in SVC Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bengaluru. So I will be the today's keynote speaker. I will be speaking on climate change and its impacts. It is a global concern, and it was a global concern for the past 10 years. So it's very important to know the basic knowledge of the climate change and how much it is impacting. Already the impacts are more, so we have to work on that so that we can reduce the impacts whatever already we have caused. So with that, I will start my PPT. So what is climate change? So my PPT will be segregated into 3 parts. So climate change is simple and it is serious and it can be solvable. So based on these 3 steps, I have segregated my PPTs. So simple, everyone know how climate change is happening. So using fossil fuels more, the carbon dioxide will be emitted in the atmosphere. Because of that, global warming is taking place. So because of global warming, the climate change is happening. Actually, naturally, climate change will be happening, but because of human intervention, it is happening at a very faster rate. So that is the major concern. So we all know that our atmosphere is composed of water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. In that, we know 98% of nitrogen will be there and 21% of oxygen, and remaining traceable amounts of greenhouse gases are there. These greenhouse gases are very, very important because they play a major role. Level has raised up to nearly plus 5.7. Okay, plus 5.7. So this much the sea level has raised. You all know about the mean sea level, no? So mean sea level is from where we will be measuring the elevation. If the mean sea level is only rising, then everything will be difficult. Next, so what happens if warmer air is there? So if you increase the temperature, so what will happen? The sunlight will be absorbing more water from the oceans, lakes, everything. So evaporation will be more and more precipitation also will be happening. Okay, I think this is pretty much understandable for you. If the temperature is more, it will be paving more way for evaporation, and how much water is evaporated and it will be coming down as precipitation. This is a basic hydrologic cycle. I think this all you guys know. So the next one more serious problem is this we can see actually during this previous month also we have seen there are a lot of hurricanes and cyclones will be taking place. These many cyclones are happening because of the climate change only and increase of greenhouse gas concentration only. So the cyclones are nothing but a low depression area will be covered by a high depression area and heavy rainfall will be taking place during these times. Okay, so this is also one serious concern because of climate change. Next, coming to the last part of my PPT, that is how it affects seriously with nature, health and economy. So nature we can tell we will have extreme weather, uneven snowfall pattern and uneven rainfall distribution. For some time you would have observed when we are in our college the rainfall won't be taking place, but if we go to the Air Force, there the more rainfall will be taking place. So everywhere uneven distribution of rainfall will be happening due to this climate change. Earlier 20 years back or 30 years back, even uniform rainfall was taking place for a particular area. Okay, I can't tell for a large area even uniform rainfall will be taking place, but for a particular area uniform rainfall has been taking place. But nowadays that area was shrinked, so everywhere uneven rainfall will be taking place. And what happens if more rainfall takes place? Obviously floods will be coming inside the cities. So, and one more thing is forest burning will be happening, forest fire we will be telling. So that also happens because of climate change. And animal and ecosystems, once the weather patterns are changing and the climate patterns are changing, the species which can't able to survive in this temperature can't survive in higher temperatures. So that also the whole ecosystem will change. For example, the fishes will be living with a particular temperature of water. So if the oceans are heating up, what will happen to the fishes? The fishes will be trying to go deep into the ocean. Okay, so you can't find fishes in the shallow areas. So health, coming to health, obviously more temperature and more burning of fossil fuels worsens air quality. So anyway, this is all we know. We are wearing masks now. So we should have started wearing masks like 5 years back. Okay, when people were going in the streets, automobile smokes will be there and a lot of industrial construction smokes will be there. Every smokes will be there. So that also causes illness to us. So various respiratory diseases and lung diseases will be having. Okay. So food and farming. So indirectly your climate change will affect the agriculture also and farming also. So if rainfall is not predictable, so what happens? So the farmers can grow the particular crops in that particular seasons. So they can't predict the rainfall. And if the rainfall is not happening for like 6 months or something, and we can't store the rainwater also in dams or everything. So these are the things in farming. And coming to health impacts, so as I told, we will have lung infections and many other respiratory diseases. And the pollen count also increases if carbon dioxide concentration increases in the atmosphere. So mosquito breedings also will be more. So these are the main systems which listen, this is a very important slide. So now we are going to the mark of 1.5 degrees Celsius. So if it reaches 2 degrees Celsius, that is in the near after 1 decade or after 10 years, if it reaches 2 degrees Celsius, what will happen? So now if it comes to 1.5, still we are not went to 1.5, we are in 1.45 or 1.46. Suppose if it comes to 1.5 degrees Celsius, 8.5 to 30 inches of sea level rise by 2100. So that is in 2100 year. Next, loss of 70 to 90% of coral reefs, 350 million people in urban areas exposed to severe drought, at least one sea ice free Arctic summer after 100 days. So these are the things which will happen in 1.5 degrees Celsius. Till now we didn't reach that 1.5 degrees Celsius. Still we have time. Now the worst case is moving to 2 degrees Celsius, which can happen in centuries. It can be in 2200 or 2300 if we don't control what we are doing now. So additional 4 inch of sea level will increase and 10.4 million more people will be exposed. loss of coral reefs. We all know coral reefs. The famous Australian coral reef is degrading nowadays due to the rise in temperature. So we will completely lose the coral reefs. Coral reefs, if it is lost, obviously it will affect the fish growth also. So 410 million people in urban areas will be exposed to severe drought, at least one sea ice free Arctic summer after 10 years. So this is how close we are to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So in 2017, it came under 1. So we are currently in 1.2 to 1.4 range. So the normal pathway here should have actually gone like this. So in 2100, you can see the bottom green, no, light green. So it should be 1. Because of human activity, you can see it is now in this dark green area. So it can, if we reduce the burning of fossil fuels, it can fluctuate in this region. So 1.5 degrees Celsius is very near to us. We can get that 1.5 degrees Celsius very fast if we are doing still more industrialization without knowing the cause of climate change. If we now itself take action and if we cut it down, we can maintain it. We can't control it. We can maintain it. So this is also the net negative global emissions. This was taken from SSP database, and this is for the each year how much carbon dioxide emissions has been taken place. And this is the temperature anomaly. This I have taken from NASA website. So each anomaly is given by one institution. For example, the blue one was, it is nothing but a simulation. It's a temperature anomaly. So NASA Goddard Institute for Space Studies, they have given this. So almost all the things are the same. Whatever every institution studied, the climate change is real and it is a global concern. Solvable. So how we can solve this? So this everyone know how we have to solve, but still we are not implementing. So if we do solving of climate change, what will happen? So the future warming, you can see the current path leads to plus degree something in 2100. But if we stop the industrialization, not completely stopping it, we have to find some other renewable energy source. So through that we can stop using the fossil fuels. How much less you use the fossil fuels, that much we can control the climate change. So if you see here, if you do the emission cuts, importantly carbon dioxide emissions, so we can survive in this plus 3 degree. So if you are not doing this, anyway, our fate is with God's only. So now, why we need to make big cuts fast? Because in 2100, it was predicted as plus 4 degrees Celsius. So we have to do it and we have to at least bring it to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So here also you can see this is like industrialization. So they have put chimneys and smoke, and here you can see the renewable energy source. There are many renewable energy sources like wind energy, tidal energy, solar energy. There are many renewable sources, so that we have to start using more. And electrifying transport. Nowadays we know many are switching to electric cars because already automobile emissions are very more, and we have to promote companies like Tesla, Ather, everything. And nowadays Ola Electric also is coming. So at one point of time, like after 50 years, everyone will be using an electric car or electric transport. But what's the only thing that we can't able to acquire it is the cost. So we have to do a lot of research and a lot of studies so that the electric transport can be available to a middle family person or a low cost family person also. So that is one thing we have to keep it in mind. Nowadays electric cars are available, but it is very costly. A normal middle class guy can't buy an electric car. And better buildings. So buildings can be designed with more insulation so that buildings don't emit heat. We have to reduce the use of concrete. We have to go with glass buildings and we have to go with any type of other materials so that we should not construct more and more buildings, and we should not make a concrete jungle also. Okay, so now building better soils. So obviously if we increase the agriculture and if we improve the soil fertility also, more crops will be grown, and it will help in changing the climate also, because crops are able to retrieve the soil carbons. So we have to maintain our grassland, coastlands, and forest, and no, it should be well maintained. No water pollution should be done to the coastal wetlands. No sewage should be drained into the coastal wetlands. And the power of trees, all of you know, afforestation is a major thing. So afforestation we have to do. So trees can help in 1438.2 million tons of carbon to equivalent removed. So each tree can remove many carbon dioxide concentrations. So we have done many things and we have invented many things. So for climate change, we can still think of many ideas. So these are our inventions and discoveries for the past centuries. So we can do this, but it is very simple to find another solution for climate change. So all must work towards it. So this was a fact that many climate changes journals were published. In all the journals, 99.9% proved humans only cause the climate change. No, it is not natural. So some people were still arguing that it is natural. So industrialized people. So it was not natural because of our human interventions and rapid industrialization only. Climate change is happening at a very faster rate. So with this I will end, and I want to tell you one more thing. In G20 Climate Global Summit, India has told it will attain net zero emissions by 2070. We have given that because already all the developed countries, they have demolished the whole thing and they have become developed countries, but still we are in developing stage. We don't have any things. So we told that in 2070, India will be a zero emission country. In 2030, we will be utilizing only renewable sources throughout India to produce uh, all sort of powers. So with this, I will finish my presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Dear participants, any queries relevant to climate changes and its impact? The forum is open. You can just ask anything to be clarified from Arvindan sir.
Okay, my humble opinion is rather than following many people in Instagram, better you can follow Leonardo DiCaprio, who is a very good environmentalist. So you can follow him and you can learn many things.
Not only that, sir, I would like to add that there is one more very wonderful initiative about the climate and the Save Soil, the Conscious Planet, which is a very greatest moment in the whole world. So we can all join and even along with Caprio, so we can also join because it's an urgent, emergent thing we all as humans we need to address. So because we need to support those moments because soil is getting, climate is getting worse daily. And another 30-35 years, we don't know like we will be getting sufficient food to eat due to these changes, which is a very great support if we all follow and we all support and understand uh, the values about our climate changes and the impacts of it. So I would like to really thank Professor Arvindan sir for taking this initiative from the Department of Civil Engineering as the foremost activity which has been initiated. And I would like to thank the department, Lata ma'am as the HOD, Professor and HOD Department of CSC. From the IIC Cell SVC, I would like to thank personally the speaker, Professor Arvindan sir, and entire coordinating team to host this event to bring us an insight onto the impactness of the climatic changes. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Chandrasekhar sir, all the heat energy will be getting into the land and some energy will be reflected back into the space. but some energy which is absorbed is re-radiated as heat. So some waves will be coming back and it will be going in the form of radiation, and some energy will be absorbed by the land and it will be re-radiated as heat. So when this heat tries to go out, these greenhouse gases helps to radiate them. These greenhouse gases helps to radiate them. So before like 10 years or 20 years back, this greenhouse gases were very less in composition. So it was not blocking any radiations. But in the current times, due to more greenhouse gases composition in the atmosphere, it was blocking the radiations whichever is emitted from the earth. So why this greenhouse gases becomes more? So the main culprit here is burning fossil fuels, which is nothing but we, the humans, are responsible for this. We burn coal, oil, natural gas, etc. Everything we will do, and we are warming the planet more than it's normal. So because of that, the climate change is happening. So these are the greenhouse gases which can last. Like if methane is there, it can last in the atmosphere for 10 years. If nitrous oxide is there, it can last for 100 years. But the carbon dioxide, which is the major pollutant, it can be automobile or it can be any fossil burning industries. All the industries release carbon dioxide a lot. You see the lifetime of a carbon dioxide, it is 1,000+ years. So this is the greenhouse cancer concentration year-wise. So if you see here, so from 1000 to that is late in 10th century, the greenhouse gases concentration was very less. If you see the graph. So coming to the industrialization, once industrialization starts, which was in the 20th century, it has started in 20th century, and in 21st century, rapid industrialization was taking place. You can see in the graph how the greenhouse gas concentration has been increasing. You can see the carbon dioxide level. So nearly in 2000 or something, it was around 280 ppm. So ppm is nothing but parts per million. So suddenly it is rapidly increased. So for this whole 10th century, if you see, the curve was very flat. Now you can see there is a steep curve. So it indicates that the greenhouse concentrations are becoming more and more in our atmosphere. So because of this greenhouse gases, in this carbon dioxide plays a major role, because I already told you it has a lifetime of 1,000 years. So if you take in 1880, the carbon dioxide was at a level of 290 ppm. Now if you see the current 2019, it was coming to 410 ppm, which is way more, the rapid increase in carbon dioxide. So I will compare this carbon dioxide concentration with the temperature of our global earth also in the next slide. You watch it very carefully. Yeah, so now you can see the temperature rises. Okay, this is the baseline temperature 0. So if you see here, the temperature was climbing slowly. So because of the carbon dioxide increase, or carbon dioxide concentration is increased, you can see the temperature is rapidly going to plus 1.1 degrees Celsius. So our normal temperature of global earth has been increased by plus 1.1 in the 2019. What does it mean? For example, in the summer season, if the maximum temperature observed in Bangalore, if it is 28 degree, in 2020, it would be observed as 29.1 degrees Celsius. So like that, the changes will be happening. So we are going to reach 1.5 degrees Celsius mark. So before that, we have to stop all our fossil burning things. So this is the global decades of warming. So each decade, how much warming has taken place. If you see in 1890s to 1910s and up to 1930, the temperature was actually dipping. It was dipping to minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. In 1970s, where the industrialization is starting, the temperature started to rise in our atmosphere. So in 2010s, it came nearly up to 1.3 degrees Celsius, and current in 2020, it was going to reach 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is a major global concern. So every people are working towards it for the past 5 years, or for the past last decade only. Every summit, you would have heard the Global Climate Summit. So it is happening. It has happened in October 2021 also. Recently, now also G20 Global Summit has also happened, and India has also given its views on the climate change. So that in my PPT I have shared you some graphs also, so you can check how this climate change is happening and how much we have affected our Earth. So here these are the hottest global years on record. So in that 10 years we have taken. So if you see in 2016 it was around 1.3, and in 2020 current time it was also 1.4. So it was gradually increasing. Anyway, in 2015-17 we try to control it, but again the industrialization is keep on growing. Okay, so this is the basic explanation of what is climate change. So now we will come to the serious problem what the climate change can do. First one, it will rise the sea levels, which is a major concern because temperature increases, the glaciers will melt. Once the glaciers melts, the sea level will rise. So when the sea level rises, there will be many natural calamities will happen. So if you see here, this is small change, the small change 1.5 degree, you will think it is what one, it is 28 degrees Celsius can become 29.5 degrees Celsius in Bangalore. But if you assume the same in any glacier region, for example, yeah, Sangotri Glacier or in Ladakh region or in Ganga region, if you take, if the temperature is even increased by 1 degree Celsius, the glaciers will melt a lot. So because of that, the more water will be coming and it will be trying to occupy the land area, whichever already we have constructed. So this is the change in average. So from extreme cold, it is going to extreme heat. So the another serious issue is the snowfall patterns will change. So whenever there should be a snowfall, for example, in Kashmir in December or in Himachal Pradesh in December and January, there will be a snowfall means it will change. The period also will reduce, the snowfall period. Sometimes snowfall will be very, very less. And this is one example, the Bear Glacier, it is in US. So if you see in 2012, how much glaciers were there, if you see from the image, you can see in 2019, you can see how much glaciers has been melted because of this climate change. So similarly, this is one example, everywhere it is happening throughout the world. So another one more serious issue is oceans are heating up. If the ocean is heated, obviously we will have change in climate. So during night time also the coastal areas will be having more hot climate. So the land will be getting more heat. So because of that also we will have more longer days, like the daytime will be more and the night time will be less. So that changes also will be happening, and daily temperature also will be changing. So maximum temperature and minimum temperature for area, that also will be changing. So you can see here, so this -4 indicates the places where it is below degree Celsius, 0 degree Celsius, and you can see it has raised up to +2. So all the red patch areas are very danger areas. Okay, so 93% of extra heat is going into the ocean. So sea level rise. So as I told, if the glaciers are melted, so obviously the